Colin Powell once said, "There are no secrets to success. It's the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." And we couldn't agree more. This is Unleash the Champ Leadership Podcast. Unleash the Champ Leadership Podcast. We'll talk to people from all walks of life and pick their brains about their journey, the process, and the ups and downs to becoming successful. You want inspiration and motivation? It all starts here. This is the Unleash the Champ Leadership Podcast. And now your host, Kyle Sullivan.
What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Unleash the Champ Leadership Podcast. We're going to do something that hadn't been done in a few months, and it's going to be a solo episode. I'd like to share with you a conversation that I continue to have as I work with organizations and leaders about 3 things that they can do to embrace adaptive leadership. What we know is that the business landscape is changing. The team development, organizational leadership is consistently changing. And there's 3 things that I've been having a conversation about that is paramount to your success. We're going to explore these strategies. We're hopefully going to give you some practical tools that you can take to your team today. And I just wanted to share a conversation I've been having with leaders all over the country. And so we're going to jump right into it with today's episode. The first thing that you have to do is you have to embrace change or you're going to fail. You have to embrace change. The leader that sits there and says, this is the way it's always been, they will continue to sit there and say, this is the way it's always been until they're not doing the thing anymore. I like to tell these folks that they're the Uncle Ricos of the Napoleon Dynamite going, back in 1984, I could throw a pigskin. They're not embracing the change. And so they're likely to fail. You can stay with the tried and true, but when the tried and true is not working, it starts to decline, you've got to embrace change. It's not just an option or a part of the strategy. It's got to be a piece of it that is instrumental in your growth. You know, one of the things that I love is the greatest danger in times of chaos. It's not the chaos itself. It's to act with yesterday's plan. And so when we are leading a team, what this may look like is going, well, we've always had this position. We've always had this thing. Well, is that still in line with your strategy? Is that still in line with who you want to be as a company, as an organization, as a leader? Are you just keeping the old couch in the house, or do you need to throw it out and get something new that can support what y'all are doing even better? Don't live in the outdated, live in the here and the now, and it will serve you much better. The second thing is you must build or fail. Build or fail. If you want to adapt in an ever-changing world, you have to build your people. A lot of business consultants, coaches, strategies are around how to increase your KPIs, how to increase your productivity, how to increase your production, how to do those things. As what we do with Unleash the Champ is we create leaders that thrive and teams that develop. We build people. People's the most valuable asset that you have within an organization. Failure is when you don't develop, you don't build up your people. You know, I've got a podcast that's probably in the early days where I talked about 7 words that can radically change a team in an organization. It's I trust you. I believe in you. 2 phrases, 7 words. I trust you. I believe in you. These words are words that empower, embolden, and encourage people to do more and be more than they think that they're currently able to. Why? Because you as the leader are building into them belief. You're building into them the opportunity to win and learn. Some might call it fail, but win and learn. You're able to do that. One of the things when I led teams and I was super passionate about building up the folks around me is when people would come in and say, hey, what should we do about this thing? I don't know. You decide. Did I know? Yes. Did I have a preference? Yes. Was that important? No. Did I know how to do it? Yes. Did I have a preference? Yes. Did I need to do it or make that decision? No. Why? Because I was focused on building the team. The cliche phrase is that when you're the smartest person in the room, you should not be in the room anymore. When you are the top of the decision-making, you will hinder and cap your ability to build a team. So you must build or you will eventually fail. The third thing, really practical. So again, we are going to change or fail. We're going to build or fail. And finally, we're going to decide or fail. You have to be able to make decisions quickly. You have to be able to make decisions quickly. You got to embrace change. You build resilience through quick decision making. If you are hesitant on making a decision, you need to ask yourself why. Do you not have enough information? Well, go get the information. Do you not have the right team in place? Well, go get the team in place. Do you have an ability to decide how to move forward? Are you needing to bring in other decision makers? One of the things that bottlenecks organizations is when the lines of communication have to go to the top. There's probably some decisions that could be made, pushed down, given empowered, building, as we talked about in point 2, building decisions into people, allowing them to make that quote, allowing them to make that decision, allowing them to present that offer, whatever it is. Decide you will be a person that empowers, that gives decision-making abilities away. You know, one of the things, again, that I would do when I led teams is I would say 99% of the time, you're not going to burn this place down. And trust me, if I think the place is going to burn down, I will step in before we set the match. So what are you doing in your leadership, in your organization? Again, 3 things to be an adaptive leader. 1, you have to be committed. 2, deciding or you'll fail. Building or you'll fail. Embracing change or you'll fail. No leader likes to fail. No person likes to leave a place. It's said that people will never leave an organization. Who do they leave? They leave the leaders. So I know that if you're listening to a leadership podcast, you want to be a leader that helps, guides, empowers, emboldens, and makes it a way for the employees that you have, the team that you have, the organization you have to stick and stay the long run. And these are 3 very simple ways that you can do that. My challenge to you would be sit down over the next couple of days or maybe up to a week and sit down with yourself and go, okay, which of these things do I need to work on? I don't want to fail. So is it, I need to increase my ability to embrace change. I need to increase my ability to build up people, build up myself and my team. Or maybe for you, it's the last thing. I got to make quicker, faster, and push decision-making down. Which is it for you? I'd love to hear stories of how this is impacting you, how you are taking action on this. And I'd love to hear your questions. If there's a way that I could serve you, email podcast@unleashthechamp.com, podcast@unleashthechamp.com. You can also find me on any socials. I would love the opportunity to hear your story. If there's another topic that I could shed light on that you think that I could add value, I want to do so because this community is amazing. We're pushing almost 20,000 downloads. And so I want to be more of service. We're going to continue to bring impactful conversations, but I'm also going to teach a little bit more along the way too. Just as I say, thank you to you, the listener, the watcher, the viewer, the reviewer. Thank you so much for another episode of Unleash the Champ Leadership Podcast.
You've been listening to the Unleash the Champ Leadership Podcast. Our passion is to talk to successful people and hear all about their journey and what it took to get there. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit up the website at unleashthechamp.com. Find us on Instagram at Kyle J. Sullivan and hit up that Facebook page at Unleash the Champ. Remember, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving.